G'day guys, kia ora! My name is Wildcard and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for following my contents, I do appreciate it. If you would like to buy me an instant coffee, hit the join button down below. Otherwise, let's get on with this preview. Old North Wales versus New Zealand. The old rivalry, this is the oldest rivalry in rugby history. The Wales has been falling aside a bit with not able to winning against New Zealand for a very long time, but traditionally, Wales has always been the biggest rival. Well, the initial rivalry, the biggest initial rivalry in rugby was actually between Wales and New Zealand. So let's have a look at some of the interesting stuff with the history of the spring tour and the original All Blacks and the seed, the very beginning of the rivalry that many of us have forgotten. So the original All Blacks toured the Europe in 1905 to 1906, played all the nations in Europe, including all the clubs in Europe as well. And the All Blacks basically flogged everyone. England got flogged, every other team got flogged, except the Welsh. The old North Welshmen beat the All Blacks in very controversial circumstances with just one converted try and a lot of referee controversy. So going into this game, the referee apparently was not agreed upon by both teams, and eventually settled on the Scotsman. And after the game, the All Blacks were not happy, and the following games against the Welsh club teams, the All Blacks had another discussion for a better referee. Eventually settled on a referee that a more reputable referee that ref the All Blacks versus England game earlier. So yeah, Welsh, they cheated with the referee to beat Australia in the Rugby World Cup 2019. Turns out it's something they've been doing for over 100 years. So yeah, the cheating Welsh with the referee, ever since the beginning of time, that's what they've been doing. The cheating Welsh. So this was also the first time ever that the national anthem was reportedly being sung in a game ever. So the All Blacks obviously came out to the world famous haka, the root of the famous All Blacks tradition. They came out to the haka. And then in response, the Welsh decided to sing the national anthem, Land of My Fathers, as a response. So yeah, this was quite a big rivalry. And in the end of the game, like I said, Wales beat New Zealand by 1-0, and back then a try was only worth 3 points. So one converted try, beating the mighty All Blacks, cheating the mighty All Blacks out of a grand slam, clean sweep inaugural spring tour to Europe. So yeah, the hatred has been built. So Wales subsequently play the All Blacks 4 times over the next 50 years. So haven't really played that much, I guess, due to the war. And obviously Wales won the first 3 out of the first 4 tests. And then in typical All Blacks fashion, Wales has never beaten the All Blacks again since 1953. So yeah, that's what you get for cheating with the referee. You never win again, ever. Okay? So go the mighty All Blacks for whipping the Wales. So I really want the All Blacks to whip Wales again this weekend for cheating with the referee. And this is gonna be a pretty big match coming up. So for the All Blacks team, this is also the 100th test hat for young Barrett, the man who has been godlike for a few years and then kind of fallen off a bit due to his poor kicking, making a bit of return this year. But at this stage, Bodie is probably the second best fly half in New Zealand under Richie Mo'unga. But this game, Sir Fozzie has awarded Bowden with a starting spot at number 10 for his 100th test match. This is probably the last starting jersey Bodie's gonna wear unless Richie Mwong gets injured. So yeah, Bodie has to pull a massive performance out of this one to have any sort of claim on the 10 jersey again in the future from this point going all forward. But yes, young Bodie Barrett, I remember him from a time where he photobombed my shot for Conrad Smith. I wanted to get a shot with Conrad Smith, and this idiot walked into my shot. And that's what, by the way, that's why I'm wearing the Hurricanes jersey. So Bodie Barrett started with Hurricanes, and look, he walked into the shot. I'm like, yeah, I just want a photo with Conrad. Yeah, you take a photo, mate. I don't know who you are, but yeah, who the hell is this guy? Get out of the shot. And he gets into the shot with Conrad Smith. Photobomb my photos, and now he's getting his 100th test cap for the All Blacks. And for Wales, obviously they had the Welshmen could feel an imminent ass whooping coming on in their future this weekend. The Welsh media already start making excuses for the imminent loss to the mighty All Blacks. So there's quite a couple issues, quite two big excuses the Welsh are making at the moment. One is injury, and the second one is availability due to the players playing for England. Yes, they are going to blame England for not being able to select some of the players to play for the All Blacks. They're going to blame the loss to the English for not able to win against the All Blacks this weekend. Yes, that's typical Wales. Typical Wales, right? And yes, yes, okay, sure thing. You telling me that Scotland can get their players out of England, but you can't. Sure, Wales, sure. And we have, so our fullback, also injuries are another issue. Lee Halfpenny, one of the bigger names for Wales, has a knee injury, so not able to play for 15th position. We have Reece Lewis-Zamet unavailable due to playing for England. And we have George North injured with a knee injury. So George North, also one of the big names for Wales that's not available. Also, we have on the Welsh sides, what else is here? We have, this is the big comeback for Wales, Gareth Anscombe. Some of you guys probably think that Dan Biggar is the #1 selection. So Dan Biggar and Callum Sheedy, again, not available due to playing in England. Yeah, blame the English for this, okay? We lost. But, you know, this is not really a bigger issue, to be honest. This is actually a blessing in the sky for Wales because Gareth Anscombe is the premier #10 for the Welsh team. And I'm pretty sure Anscombe was starting in the 2019 Wales Grand Slam. So, yeah, going into the World Cup, Anscombe was the premier #10 for Wales. And then he was injured and not able to play the 2019 World Cup. And they lost to South Africa in the quarterfinals, or in the semi-finals, actually, by 3 points. So, if Anscombe was playing instead of Dan, I don't want to get demonetized. Instead of Dan Biggar, Gareth could probably make the difference for the 3 points for Wales to push through to the finals against England. So yeah, this is a pretty big comeback for Gareth. He hasn't played for 881 days due to a pretty bad knee injury, but he has always been the premier #10 for Wales, to be fair. And then also we have the Ken Owens at hooker position. This is probably one of the biggest issue for Wales in terms of the overall cohesion of the team. Ken Owens is the best hooker for Wales, probably the best hooker in Europe, and he's not able to come back to play due to a back injury, and he's not being able to fully fit to the doctors and not being able to clear him from the back injury. So obviously with all these issues, the odds of Wales for this game is pretty low according to the All Blacks, the New Zealand bookies. $12 for Wales and only $1.02 for New Zealand. So if you put $100 for New Zealand, you get $2 back when you win. And yeah. And then the weather, it's going to be a bit rainy on Sunday. Sorry, this will be Saturday for Wales, Sunday morning for you guys. So if you're a New Zealander, the game is at 5:15 in the morning for you, and it's 3:15 in Australia for me. And yes, let's have a look at the lineup. This is the big one. Let's have a look at the exact breakdown of the lineup. There's a few very interesting stuff from Sir Fozzie has made for the New Zealand side, and some, obviously we've just looked at some of the issues that the Welsh teams are having. So first up in the front row, we have Wyn Jones, one of the very solid loose head forwards. One of the best loose head forwards, in fact, in Europe for Wales at number 1 position. Number 2 position, Ryan Elias comes in for Ken Owens. Thomas Francis comes in at number tight head position with 53 caps for the Welsh team. A big fella, 135 kilos. He's got a lot of work he's up against Joe Moody, who's gonna put in a lot of work against Thomas Francis, because Joe Moody has been out back from injury for quite a while. He's only played, I think, 2-3 tests since coming back from injuries, and he hasn't been looking at 100%, to be honest. So maybe the rust is out of the system, maybe not. We'll just see how he goes. He's a little bit rusty. So Joe Moody, big game for him this weekend at number 1 position. Cody Taylor, the best number 2 in the world right now, potentially, and probably the fittest. He has been owning that starting jersey ever since Dan Coles got injured. And interestingly enough, Dan Coles is not selected for this game, despite that he's clear from injury. And Cody Taylor is coming back at number 2, 54 test caps. And then the number 3, Nipul Aulala, the Blues tight head. One of the, I think he's by far the best tight head in New Zealand. And he's 30 years of age, 37 test caps, 116 kilos. And he is just extremely good, extremely solid platform for the Blues, set up for their eventual Super Rugby Trans-Tasman win. So Nipul Aulala, really good to see him back in the fold. And now the lock positions. This is probably the biggest matchup for the game. So in the Welsh side, we have Adam Beard and Alan Wynne-Jones, 2 of the Grand Slam winning combos for Welsh team. This is as good as you get in terms of locks in Europe. So this is probably the best 2 locking combinations in the world. Maybe except South Africa might be also in the fold there. But yeah, this is probably the best North versus South in terms of locking combos. They're up against Brodie Retallick and Sammy Whitelock. So Alan Wynne-Jones is already the most capped. I think this will be the historic game for Alan Wynne-Jones. He will be the most capped player ever after this game. 148 test caps. And I think he's already beaten Richie McCaw. I think Richie McCaw has 144. But Alan Wynne-Jones is the highest, the most capped player in the world. And this will be his 149th test caps. And I think it will be 150 against Australia, maybe. So the next game, or maybe not Australia, I think maybe South Africa. But yeah, this is a monumental occasion for Alan Wynne-Jones. Alan Wynne-Jones is not actually human. He had a dislocated shoulder in the first game of the Lions tour against Japan. And he was able to return like 3 weeks later to play in the first test match. So yeah, Alan Wynne-Jones is not human. You don't return from a dislocated shoulder in 3 weeks. And by the way, a lot of you people might think, oh, he's too old, 36 years of age, end of his career. He's just here because there's lack of people playing. Alan Wynne-Jones, in the Lions tour, he was the captain of the Lions tour. You know, he's obviously in the mix with the best players from the entire UK and Ireland. And he had the highest work rate in the entire team in terms of tackles. So I don't care what you say. I don't care what people say. Alan Wynne-Jones works harder than Mauro Itoje in terms of making tackles and just getting the hard job done. So yeah, so he's definitely too old for this game, and he's definitely still the best in Europe, at least. Sammy Whitelock, 33 years of age. He retains the captaincy at number 5 spot, 128 test caps. So Sammy Whitelock, the Liverpool players play probably about 10 test caps every year. So Sammy Whitelock is on track to beat Alan Wynne-Jones in about 3 years, to overtake him as the most capped player in the world. We shall see how that goes. But as you can see, this could be 2 legends playing each other. Right here, we're going to be witnessing. At number 6 position, Ethan Blackadder getting a starting position. This is quite impressive on the number 6 spot. Ethan Blackadder just debuted this year and had a pretty solid performance this year for the Crusaders. And yeah, he's been on the bench quite a bit, and he's finally getting a starting spot, number 6 position. Ross Moriarty comes in for the blindside wing flanker position for Wales. In the open side flanker, TM Basham. I don't actually know how to put it. Am I pronouncing his name right? 3 test cap, the relatively new player for Wales. And Dalton Papali'i still being favoured by Fozzie at number 7 spot. Papa Lee has played a really stellar season. Relatively new again to the All Blacks fold, and he's been just extremely solid for the All Blacks in all aspects of his game. He's been really good with the running game as well, really improved with the running game, as well as his work at the breakdowns. Number 8 position, Aaron Wainwright comes in at with 29 test caps for Wales, 106 kilos. He's up against the Adi Savia, back having a break with the United States team at number 8 spot with 56 test caps for the All Blacks. Now the back line. This is the most exciting part for the All Blacks team. The excitement machine here. This is the best lineup I could possibly think of for the All Blacks. Literally, yesterday, I was thinking to myself, I wonder what the All Blacks backline is going to be. And in my mind, I thought, Fozzie should never give George Bridge a try at 11 again. And the best player at 11 has to be Rieko Ioane. And they should bring Anton Leno-Brown back based on his recent performance. And sure enough, I checked the list and I could not believe it. Sir Fozzie has got my mental telepathic messaging, and he's picked the exact same backline as I thought, except maybe not Bowden. I thought maybe Richie Mo'unga will be at 10. But I thought if Bowden gets a chance at 10, it will be his last chance. And sure enough, this is the last chance, I think. So yeah, let's have a look at 9-10 combination, Bowden and TJ Perenara. TJ Perenara, Bowden, his 100th test match. TJ Perenara, Bowden has been a little bit flat in recent times when they played in the Rugby Championship. So something they could work on a little bit. TJ and Bowden, they're kind of like both alpha males a little bit. And they both wanted to like run the gameplay. That's why TJ has been so good coming off the bench. Because he comes off, he injects that leadership, he injects that energy, and he injects that assertiveness in where the ball wants to go. And it really like push the team into another gear. But what tends to be happening when TJ is starting, especially with another alpha male like Bowden, they both kind of like try to run a game, but then they're both kind of like going, oh no, you do it. It's kind of like, oh no, you decide what you want to do. So they both end up being a bit flat when they're working with each other. Instead of just clicking into gear, they're both kind of like trying not to tread over one another a little bit. That's kind of like my critic for this combination. But hopefully they've been working on it. Hopefully they're getting a bit better. Again, this is Bowden's big moment to try to really... This is literally the last shot for Bowden at the number 10 jersey. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. Bowden, we look for a big performance. We look for Go Bowden this weekend. This will be a really interesting match to see. They're up against Tomo Williams. He's been selected over... What's his name? Gareth Davies. I always thought Gareth Davies is the best number 9 for Wales because he's extremely good performance against Australia. So obviously Wayne Pivac don't think the same. He's been on the bench for quite a few, or been consistently for Wales. So Tomo Williams comes in at number 9, and Gareth Anscombe, the Welsh legend, comes back in for the Welsh number 10. So this is actually a really good opportunity for Gareth to actually secure that, reclaim that number 10 jersey. If he put in a good shift today, Bigger may never get the 10 jersey again. So, Gareth, please put in a good game. And I would never want to see Bigger play again, please. So yes, Gareth, I will be cheering for you for the sole reason of never letting Bigger get hold of that 10 jersey again. Number 11 spot, this is a huge matchup as well. Josh Adams, probably the best winger in the Lions tour, despite not playing in some of the tests, coming off the bench. But during the club games, Josh Adams was just like absolute try and scoring machine. He is incredibly good. I was not sure why Gatland did not give him more opportunities in the actual test against South Africa. Had him coming off the bench a couple times. But yeah, he's absolutely try-scoring machine. And he's up against another try-scoring machine. The best try-scoring machine in New Zealand. At Rieko Ioane. I went back and watched some of the old games when Rieko was playing. Before he started playing center. When he was still playing like wing. Man, he was so damn good. So good. Like, just electrifyingly good. Like, you jump off your seat when he gets the ball. Like, that just... Yeah, and he's kind of getting that feeling back again. He has been a bit of a low in the last couple of years, but he's getting that feeling back again. So I look for a big performance by Rieko. The one issue with Rieko is he can't really kick. So if he gets the ball in the back line, he's not going to be able to kick so much. So that's probably a weakness for Rico, and that's one of the reasons why I think they probably wanted him at center. But Rico, as a finisher, one of the premier finishers in the world right now. I have Johnny Williams at number 12 for Wales, coming in at apparently, despite he is seemingly relatively new to the team, apparently he has been a pretty solid selection by Pivac for the Welsh team. And then he got injured for a little while. So yeah, he's back into the fold at the inside center position. He's up against David Havili, who also kind of like just taken over the number 12 jersey recently. And you know, the All Blacks has a tradition of really impressive world-class number 12s. So David Havili has a really big shoes to fill, following the footsteps of Maya Nonu, Sonny Bill Williams. So he has really big shoes to fill, but he's really grown into that 12 role. His defense is quite good. His attacking is quite good, but he's lacking just a little bit with linking up with his outside center at times. So Anton Leonard-Brown comes in number 13. This will be a game that they really wanted to work on to try to link up Havili and Anton Leonard-Brown, because they're both a really good combination, a really good line breakers as well, a really good like playmakers. So they're just really being able to exploit that 12 or 13 channel as a combination. Especially Anton Leonard-Brown, he's also extremely good at the breakdown. So Anton Leonard-Brown can easily play a forward, like a world-class number 6 or number 7, right? But he's just like, if you give him a sniff on the breakdown, he will turn the ball over. Anton Leonard-Brown, however, has been a bit rusty coming off a bit of injury recently. So we shall see how he goes. He's not exactly the Anton Leonard-Brown that we remember from 2019, for instance, but he's still, you know, got the skills in him to grow into. So you can see that he's slowly getting better every game he plays, and this will be a really big test to see how he, you know, combos with David Havili, in which in recent times they've been a bit rusty. So we shall see how that goes. Jonathan Davies comes in at outside center for Wales, 33 years of age, 87 test cap, 2 Lions tours this guy, so quite a veteran for the Welsh team in the outside center position. Jonathan Davies, a number 14 spot. Owen Lanes, a relatively new player for Wales, 4 test caps. He's against Will Jordan. Again, one of the best wingers ever, probably potentially. The way he's going, his trajectory is just to the moon. And Will Jordan, looking forward for him to score a bunch of tries, hopefully against the Welsh team. And this will be, again, another big test for Will Jordan. His kicking game is very good. Unlike Rico Ioane, he's really good at kicking, really good running, and really good finisher all rounded. So Will Jordan will probably be covering Rico in those fullback positions, on those kicking positions. At number 15, Johnny McNichol, a former Kiwi who played for the Crusaders, by the way, coming back in for the Wales team at 2 test caps. He only started playing for the Wales team since 2020, despite the fact that he's 31 years of age. And yeah, so this will be interesting to see. This could be a weakness that the All Blacks could exploit here with the high balls and just putting him under a lot of pressure, and see how he handles international pressure. So Jordie Barrett is by far the best number 15 in the world. He's going to be kicking for his brother, taking over the kicking duty for his brother. He was, I think, 100% against America last week. Maybe not 100%, maybe like pretty close to, not 100%. I think he was 100% against South Africa. So his kicking has been incredibly good against South Africa in the last game. He's kicking really, I think it was 100% against South Africa, maybe like 1 or 2 misses, but yeah, really high kicking percentage, winning games for the All Blacks in the dying moments, long range kicking as well, so he can slow the ball over anywhere within 60 almost, probably 55, anywhere within 55, any kind of angle. So he's incredibly good kicking, and also incredibly good under the high ball. And if you give him a bit of the space, if you don't have the chasers in place to shut him down with the space, he will run at you and break your lines. So Jordie Barrett, by far the cream of the crop of the Barrett family, has overtaken his brother Bowden as the best in the Barrett family. Jordie the Freak Barrett. Now the reserves. This is something that the Welsh could have a bit of an issue here. In the 4-pack, there's debuting a new hooker, Kirby Kirby Michiel, 0 test cap, potentially debuting. He's like up against Tukiaho for the Chiefs. So Tukiaho had a really good season with the Chiefs, and I was surprised initially that he wasn't selected for the All Blacks. And then suddenly, Dan Coles got injured. He was called into the All Blacks team, debuted for the All Blacks, and now he's a permanent fixture for the All Blacks. Very impressive young man. So Dan Coles not selected for this game despite him being fit. He played against America. So yeah, the Sir Fozzie really starting to see the true potential out of Tukiaho and give him another shot, which I think is really, really, really good to see. In the props position, we have Reece Carey up against Carl Tuinukuafe. I do think Carl Tuinukuafe is the best loosehead tight head for New Zealand. Especially, he's the one that really gave Tongan Thor a lot of troubles against Australia. And I was surprised that he didn't play against South Africa, I don't think. So that's probably one of the things that South Africa really dominated the South African scrums, because Carl Tuinukuafe wasn't coming off the bench. So, Fozzie, I know you used to play number 10. You don't really know much about the Thai forwards. But let me just tell you, Carl Tuinukuafe is your best loose forward pop. So, maybe put him in a starting position instead of Joe Moody. Maybe, okay? I know you like Joe Moody. I know Steve Handsome selected Joe Moody, but I'll just let you know, Tuinukuafe is in better form right now. So yeah, Fozzie. And yeah, so Terrell Lomax also gets a tight head position for number 18 over, what's his name? God, I always forget stuff when I'm recording. Anyway, he's up against Dylan Lewis at number 18 spot. Terrell Lomax gets spot over, God, I remember, he's the other Australian guy who played for the Waratahs, who tried to play for Waratahs. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. Anyway, I'll probably remember it a bit later. Let's go. So Will Rowlands at number 19 against Tupou Taivai at 19. Number 20, Seb Davies up against Akia Ioane coming off the bench. And we have Gareth Davies, the bane of Australian rugby. 62 test caps on the bench up against Brad Weber. So Gareth Davies is one of those halfbacks, really injects a bit of energy. He actually plays a lot like TJ Perenara, to be honest. So I thought Gareth Davies would be a great match with TJ Perenara in the starting spot. But anyway, he's at number 20 position. At number 22 position, we have Reece Prislin. 50 test cap. This has another veteran at 34 years of age. He's also a fly half coming off the bench. Former Lions player. British and Irish Lions player. And then we have Richie, the greatest of all time, Mo'unga at number 22. Still a little bit rusty, but his performance against the United States was pretty good. But I think he's coming off like a month or two break. He's probably they're just probably trying to warm him back into the full intensity of international rugby a little bit. But Richie Mo'unga, so far, is better than Bodie Barrett in the number 10 spot. Number 23, Ben Thomas, 1 test cap for Wales, and he's up against Seville Reece, Seville Reece coming in potentially for the winger position, and they will probably move Seville Reece to 11 and move Rico to Anton Leonard-Brown at number 13. So they're going to do that swap later in the game. So Seville Reece is here, very good to see. And yes, that is the Angus Tarbell. That's it. Angus Tarbell is not getting selected by another fellow Aussie, Terrell Lomax. So they just replaced the 2 Australians. And I do think Tarbell is probably slightly better than Lomax. But this would be a good opportunity for Lomax to prove that he's got the goods for the All Blacks team. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of these selections. Let me know what the score's going to be. I hope that Beauden Barrett is back in God form and set up a bunch of tries, potentially exploiting the fact that Anscombe has been injured for a while. Just run over him, run through him for a couple of nice tries, and, get another shot at number 10 starting the next week. So what should I say? Oh, another thing, the All Blacks has been playing in the United States last week, so they've only had 1 week to adjust to the time difference to Wales. So that could potentially affect them a little bit. We shall see how that goes. But yeah, the odds is stacked against the Wales. Plenty of excuses coming out left and right. Let me know your predictions. Thank you for watching this video guys. And I'll see you guys later. Cheers.